Okay, so today again, listen, we will be discussing graphing lines. Last year we graphed lines by plotting a bunch of points, and generally you used -1, 0, 1 to plot 3 points, and you drew the line. All right, this year it is a lot different. All right, all of the lines that you graph can be put into a special form. All right, that special form is going to be called, for today, we're going to call it the slope-intercept form. All right, so at the very top of your paper, you can highlight slope-intercept form. All right, and then right above that, we're going to write that out. All right, we're going to write y equals mx plus b. All right, that's the form that you will be discussing. All right, of course, everybody here knows what m is because they did their homework last night. M is just the slope. Perfect. Now we have to discuss intercept. B in this formula is the y-intercept. All right, so B is the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is simply fancy for saying where the line crosses the y-axis. Just like if I said, what's the x-intercept, you would say where the line crosses the x-axis. Perfect. Where the line crosses the y-axis and where the line crosses the x-axis. Those are the intercepts. Today specifically we'll be looking at this equation y equals mx plus b. M stands for slope, b stands for the y-intercept, and then the x and the y also represent something. They just represent all of the points that are on the line. All right? So again, that format, all right, very, very important, all right? Now, from there, all right, now we're going to read some directions, all right? It says, write an equation of the line in slope-intercept form with the given slope and y-intercept, then graph the line, all right? So now I'm going to try to teach a little bit about your notability, which I think is really cool. So what we're going to do is, I put some graph paper in here for you. So what I would like to teach you now, if you don't know this already, is you use that to highlight this, and then I copy it, and then I come down here and I paste the image. All right, and I shrink it down, and that way you can tell exactly what question I'm dealing with. All right, does everybody see that? So I'm doing question number 1. All right, now I can blow it up a little bit now, and I can put the equation y equals. Anybody want to tell me what they think the equation is? Go.
Mx plus b.
Yes, but what is m?
M is slope.
In this problem, what is m?
2.
So what's the y-intercept?
So it'd be 2x plus 4.
That is amazing. That's really hard. Does everybody agree?
No.
Of course you don't. That's about as easy as it possibly gets. All right, now the reason why that's so easy is because you understand slope, and you understand what y-intercept is, and you understand that the slope is defined as what? What is slope? All that homework you did yesterday, no one can tell me about slope. Rate of change, that is awesome. All right, what else could we define slope as? Very good. Delta y over delta x. All right, slope is a comparison. It's the y change over the what? X change. All right, the rise over run. Now it's all coming back. Perfect. All right, so somebody tell me what the y-intercept is in this problem again. Tell me. 4. All right, so what I want to do is I want to blow this up, and I want to put a dot. Where do you think I'm going to put the dot at? At the? Yes, that's all that means, is we're going to start by putting a dot at the y-intercept. All right? Now, we're going to use the slope to find another point. All right, what is the slope of this line again? 2 over what? 2 over 1. Thank you. 2 over 1. All right, so from there, all right, how do I find another point? What do I have to do? Someone be brave. 2 divided by 1. What does that mean? Hello? Yes, it's on his way. In, you're out. All right. So again, the slope. Look how simple this is. Slope. That means 2 represents what? Delta y. That means I'm going to move on the y-axis how much?
2.
And then the denominator represents delta x, which just means I'm going to move 1 unit. So from the y-intercept, I'm going to move what? Up, 2, and over 1. Now I'm going to make the demonstration here, all right? Just so you can see. Blow it up a little bit. I'm going up how many?
2.
And then I'm going over how many?
1.
And then I plot the next point right there. Does everybody see that? So on your little note right here, you can say this represents delta y, and this represents delta what? That represents delta x. And now you just draw the line through those 2 points. Does everybody see how simple that is? All right, that's how you graph a line, using the slope and the y-intercept. All right? Any questions or concerns so far? You're right. Super easy. Yes, sir.
So it's 2x. What does the x stand for?
Who can tell him? We talked about it. Oh, come on. X and Y. What did I say the X and Y were?
X goes this way, Y goes that way, and
Ye-
delta Y and delta X.
Yes, but what are specifically like the M has a definition. M is the slope and B is the y-intercept. I said X and Y are what? X and Y are the points that are on the graph. All right? The X and Y are simply the points that are on the graph. You with me on this?
Yeah.
In other words, if I plugged this point 0,4 into the equation, it would be true. If I plugged 1,6 into the equation, it would be true. You with me?
Yeah.
All right. So now I want everybody to quickly highlight number 3. And let's copy that, paste the image. Now remember, I've had probably about 6 or 7 parent conferences already. And the main thing I tell parents is you don't communicate. All right, so those of you guys who are nervous about talking to me, you're not allowed to hide anymore. All right, I don't want the same people answering. If you're not happy with your grade, now's the time to improve it. Speak up. All right, Miss Virginia, thank you for volunteering for number 3. Thank you so much. All right, so how would I, tell me what the equation of the line would be for number 3. Loud and proud. Y equals, what's the slope? What's the slope? Very good. So 3 over 4x. What's the y-intercept? Yes. And that's how hard that was. That's all there is to it. Anybody have any issues with that, writing the equation? Anybody? All right, Ava, you're up. Tell me how to graph that. What do I do first?
You go up 3.
Not yet. First thing first, and that's okay. Always find the y-intercept first. What's the y-intercept again?
-1.
That's right. So you have to go to the y-intercept and plot a point. That's step number 1. So everybody goes down to -1, plot a point. Now I do what?
Go up 3.
And that is exactly correct. And when you say over 4, you're saying to the right 4. So now everybody can go up 3 and over 4. And then draw your line. All right, and don't forget the arrows at the end. Everybody see how easy that is? So far, so good. All right, so that's number 3. Now I'm going to grab number 5. Okay, now all I have to do is graph this. But I have a problem with number 5. Who can tell me what the problem is on number 5? Bless you.
Thank you.
Good job. What is it? That is exactly correct. Couldn't have said it better myself. So what I want you to do is highlight why. This is why the last test was so important, because you have to learn to isolate variables. So in this case, I need to isolate the y. So how do I isolate the y? What do I need to do? You add 4x to both sides. Brilliant. This over here is in the wrong spot. So I move it over to the other side. If it's negative on the left, it's going to be positive on the right. So now I have y equals 4x plus 2. All right, Noelle, what are we doing now? She's got this. You got to do the what first? Always graph. Yes, and what is the y-intercept? 2. So all I have to do is go up to 2 and plot a point. Beautiful. All right, what's the slope? 4. 4 over what? Yes, make sure you always write slope as a fraction. All right? So from there I go up 4 and you are awesome. Up 4 and over 1. Here we go, right there. Anybody have any questions? Now draw the line. Now again, remember, your job is to speak up if you're a little bit behind or you're not sure about what I'm saying. All right, please. It's no point for me to continue if you're stuck. Tell me.
So I'm still a little bit confused.
With what?
On like the whole process, with the whole thing. I'm confused.
Well, you got to help me out better than that now. Do you know what this is? Come on, this is what I'm talking about. Do you know what this is?
Yeah, that's.
What is that called?
Y-intercept.
Exactly. So what does that mean?
So
where the line crosses the y-axis. So that's that point right there.
Okay.
Right? And then, after you plot that point, you use your what?
You use 4 over 1.
Exactly.
Okay.
So from that point, you go up 4 and over 1. That's it.
Oh, I
It's
get it now.
very, very, very simple.
Oh.
Right? It's simple if you understand what the y-intercept means. Y-intercept is a point, and slope is a ratio of the change in y over the change in x. All right? Now, let's find the next one. So now I'm going to do, we have all kinds of issues now. Number 7. All right, Isabel, you get to help me on this one. Tell me what's the problem first off. You're good. Yay, exactly right. So I move it over and it becomes a what?
Y.
Not yet. When I move it over, it was negative on the left, so it's going to be a, yes. So now I want you to make sure you have this written down. 7y equals 3x plus 21. Now, instead of waiting till the end of the problem, now you're supposed to look at me and say, I have no idea what you're doing.
I'm confused what you just did to move the 3x to the other side.
Well, on the left side, it's what?
Negative.
On the right side, it is.
Positive.
That's all I did. Just like in the previous problem, number 6. Look on number 6. I'm going to slide it over so you can see what I'm getting at. Or number 5. It was negative 4x on the left, so I moved it over and it's what? You with me now, right? Okay, so now again, I want to show you this, guys, because I just think you should be this good. Look right here. Listen to me. Everybody look up. I don't want you doing this. Plus 3x plus 3x. So we agree we got a problem if we're doing that, right? You should just know if it's negative 3x on the left, it's going to be what? Positive 3x on the right. You have to know that, or it's going to be a problem. Is everybody okay with that? All right, so that is totally unnecessary. All right, so now what I want to do is, Isabel, we're still not cleared yet. What do I have to do next?
So, can you do the 7y?
You have to get rid of what?
The 7.
Yes, and how do I get rid of?
Subtracting it.
Now, listen to me. That's close. Listen carefully. If I was telling somebody, what does that mean right there? Well, what is in between the 7 and the y, though? What operation? That's exactly correct. So how do I undo multiplication? There you go. Instead of subtracting, we have to do what? You have to divide. Simple as that. All right? So when we divide by 7, divide by 7, divide by 7. Everything must be divided by 7. Everybody good with this? And now, finally, we have the right equation. So now the equation is y equals 3/7 x plus 3. Anybody have any issues with that? All right, now you get to graph it. What do I have to do?
So, go up 3.
Yes, ma'am. You go up 3, plot a point. Then from there.
You go up.
Yep.
You go up.
Yes.
7,
Up 3 and?
across 7.
Yay, up 3 over 7. And that is correct. Now, is it possible to go up 3/7 and over 1? And the answer would be yes. Is it easy to go up 3/7? Is it easy to go up 3/7?
Yeah.
No. Right, because I can't really see where 3/7 is. That's why we just say we go up 3 and over what?
7.
Over 7. All right? That's not bad. That's really about as hard as it gets. All right, so if you understand that, you're in pretty good shape. All right? Now, I want to take a brief look at question number 9 because we talked about this several times, but I just want to put 9 right underneath this. All right, we're going to do number 9 down here also. Is everybody hearing me? All right, so who remembers this problem? Who remembers how to graph this?
It's just,
That's
straight
right.
line.
Yeah, we wouldn't necessarily have to call it a straight line because all lines are straight, right? So what type of line is this?
Horizontal.
Yes, a horizontal line. And what y value does it go through?
-1.
Yeah, so everybody should have this memorized. All of those y values on that horizontal line are what? Are -1. Now just to make myself clear, everybody look up, look up, look up, look up. This y value is what? -1. This y value is what? Every time I make a dot on that line, the y value is always what? That's how you're supposed to know that's the answer. On a vertical line, it's always going to be what? X equals whatever the number is. Is everybody good on that? Yes.
So the answer is just a horizontal line.
That's a horizontal line. That is exactly correct. That is the answer. And technically, if you wanted to look at that, you could say y equals 0x minus 1. All right? But I don't think that's necessary. I do not think that's necessary. Is everybody good on this? All right? Now, let's have some more fun. Let's keep it going, right? Take a look at number 11. Now, all you have to do is write the equation for the line on number 11. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write down y equals mx plus b. All right, Catalina, tell me. What is b? 2. So everybody understand b is 2. Now, how did I get that? I just looked at the y-intercept. I'm making a dot on the y-intercept. Does everybody see that? So now I have y equals mx plus 2. Now, please watch here, guys. All right, I'm going to try to make it here so you can see it. I'm here. Now, I'm following the line, and I'm trying to find another. There it is, right there. Does everybody see that? That point right there is another point exactly on the line. So tell me what's the slope? That's how simple. Very good. So the answer is y equals 2/3 x plus 2. Now again, if you're not sure how we got that, please just watch. All you're doing is you're saying from this point, I went up how many?
2.
And I went over how many?
3.
So remember, that's delta y, and that guy right there is delta x. I went up 3 and over 2. Yes, sir.
Could you also go backwards?
Now, if you're going backwards, I think what you mean is if you start here, you would be going down, and then you'd be going to the what? To the left. So this would be a -2 and a -3. You with me? Which would be the same. Now, again, that's why I always tell kids, start from left to right, then you don't have to worry about all the negatives. You always read numbers from left to right. All right? Now, I want everybody to take a quick look at number 13. I tried to tell you the answer a few minutes ago. For those of you guys who were listening to me, you could probably tell me the answer. The answer is, thank you, it is a vertical line. How do I write the equation of a vertical line, though? Now, keep in mind, horizontal was y equals, so x equals, let him do it, x equals what, though? Yes, exactly. Look how simple that is. X equals -2. Now, how did I know it's x equals -2? Number one, you can just remember all vertical lines are x equal. Now, how do I know what value? Well, you look at the x-axis. What does it go through? -2. So that means every single point that's on that line has an x value that's what?
-2.
Brilliant. Super easy. All right, super easy. We're going to spend lots of time going over lines, all right, in word problems. All right, lots of time. So right now, 15 and 16, I'm not worried about. All right, we're just strictly doing the graphing. All right. Now, what your job right now is to evaluate how good I've done. All right, I know it's always 10 stars. I understand. All right, but what you're doing now is you're going to do question number 17. If you don't know, you're the person I want to talk to. I don't care about the people who know it all. All right, you have to say, well, I'm not 100% sure. I would like to make sure before I walk out of this room that I know what he's talking about. So I want to put myself out there and say, hey, just show me something real quick. All right, so I'm going to ask for a volunteer for number 17. The only thing I'm asking is if you volunteer that you kind of are questionable. You're not 100%. If you know how to do it, I don't care. I'm trying to get those people who are shy, kind of like wimpy a little bit. Just kidding. All right. But those of you guys who are not sure 100%, speak up. So I'm going to go down now here to question number 17. And we're going to let Emily go. Tell me what the equation would be.
So it would be y equals...
Beautiful. Y equals what? Yep.
Y equals 5x
Yep.
plus 8.
I told you, it's that simple. That's all there is to it.
I don't see an empty graph.
Scroll down. Okay.
All right. And the also thing you guys know, you can like, if you want, which is really cool, is see mine right here? See what I'm doing? Maybe I don't want it down that far. Maybe I want it on that page. It'll just flip pages. Does everybody see that? You can move the page. All right, so now if you don't have to move it so far. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
All right, it's kind of a cool little feature. All right, you just gotta hold it down, hold your finger on it, and it grabs it, and then just slide it up over the next page. All right, it's really nice. Notability is amazing. All right, so here we go. Tell me how to graph. What do I have to do now?
So you would go 5 up.
No, I'm glad you asked. Plot the Y-intercept first.
Oh, okay.
You go what first?
You go, I know Y-intercept means that...
What number is the Y-intercept in this equation?
5? No, 8.
It tells you 8.
So you go
You see what I'm saying, right? So I want to make sure you're hearing me. The Y-intercept is 8, and it's always the number after the X. So that means you go what? Up.
8.
Just plot 8. You go up 8.
And over 5.
Now, wait a minute now. Now from there, now you use the slope. And I don't want you to remember the slope is 5. I want you to say the slope is 5 over 1. So from that point, is it really possible to go up 5? No, so we have problems. So instead of going up 5, I must go down 5. And then if I go down, here's the key. I have to go what? Left 1. So 5 over 1 is the same as negative 5 over negative 1. Is everybody hearing me? So I ran out of room, so I cannot go up. I must go what? Down. And when I go down 5, I've got to go to the left 1. So I'm going down 5 and left 1. And that is all there is to it. That's all there is to graphing a line. All right? Bless you. All right? Better?
Yes.
All right. Now you got to do the next one. All right? And I want you to try to do the next one before I get started on it. All right? That's what your job is. All right? So now I'm going to grab number 19. I'm going to let Tyler talk to me about 19. Let me put it up here. All right. Wait a minute. I want to move this over out of the way because I don't want to get this in the way. All right, go ahead. Tell me what the equation is, please.
Y
Yep.
equals negative 4 over 1
Yep.
plus
4 over 1 what?
x
X
plus 6.
plus 6. Beautiful. All right. Now, do you technically have to put negative 4 over 1? No. If you do, it's perfectly fine. All right, Tyler, now graph it for me.
I'm going to go up 6
Up 6,
and plug 4.
and then,
Go down 4.
and,
But go to the left ones.
whoa. Down 4 and to the,
Right?
yes. Because remember, negative 4 over positive 1. It's not negative 4 over negative 1. Agreed? Because if we did negative 4 over negative 1, it would make it a positive. Agreed? So we're going down 4 to the right 1, and now we're drawing that line. All righty, anybody? Any problems? All right, here we go. Let's have some more fun. So we're on 21. Hubble? You ready?
Yep.
All right. Impress me here.
I can't find
Well, I got it right up here on the board for you. So tell me what to do.
So it would be y equals 3 minus 4.
3 what?
3x minus 4.
Now what?
And then you go up 3.
What's the Y-intercept?
Negative 4.
So what do I have to do?
So you go down 4.
Come on, buddy. Go down 4. Then what?
Then over 3.
Then I use the slope. What's the slope?
3.
So from that point, I have to do what?
So
Up
up 3
and
over 3.
over 3. No, don't help him. Not allowed to help. Up 3 and over what?
1.
Yes, because the number 3 can be written as 3 over 1. 3 over 3 is not 3. Agreed? So 3 over 1. So from there we go up 3 and over 1. And now everybody draw the line. All right. One more. Baby. All right, Leah. You're up. Let's see if you're ready. Yes, ma'am. 23. So what do I have to do first? So that's going to be what? Y equals 3x plus 6. And now what? You go up 6. Simple, simple. Anybody have any issues with that?
Wait, can you scroll up a little?
Yes, ma'am. Is that good for you? Good? All right, anybody unsure? Tell me.
Wait. Oh, sorry. I was about to say, why is it not negative? But then I realized that.
That's right, because I moved it. Do you agree?
Yeah, I get it now.
All right. Anybody else have any issues? Everybody good? I don't think it's that bad. Does everybody agree? All right. Super, super, super important. So I'm going to leave you alone. Now, if you run out of graph paper, does everybody realize you can like duplicate the page and stuff like that, right? Right. Okay, so I think I left enough graph paper on there. Listen, I really just wanted you to go through 1 through 13, 17 through 35 odds, and then tomorrow we're going to go back and do the evens. Now listen, again, I gave you the solutions. I want you to double check your work. All right, if you're not 100%, go back and listen again. All right, and see how things went. All right, everybody good? All right, great job today.